coming in at 8 feet, 100 pounds. Behind me here is the ultimate tiny boat fishing machine. Welcome back, folks. Today, another episode of Humbug Videos. I'm gonna be covering everything on my tiny boat, all of my modifications, my little hacks. I'm gonna have the prices for everything in the description for you guys that are wanting to make a tiny boat like this and go catch some fish. Stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So there's kind of two main ways that I use this boat. Number one is for bass fishing, and number two is for trolling. And I actually have two completely different setups each trip I take this on. Because I have to load this on top of my car, I have to take everything off and on again when I go fish. So that's the cool thing about how I've built this boat, is I built it completely customizable so that every trip you can actually put things in different spots and adjust based on what fish you're catching. So I'm gonna break it down in the two ways that I have it built today. We're gonna start off with the bass fishing rig. All right, we're gonna start with the meat and potatoes of this boat. First thing I'm gonna talk about here, the actual boat itself. Now, this boat is the Bass Pro Shops Pond Prowler 8. They actually make this boat in two sizes. They make it in an 8, which is the 8 foot, and the 10, which is the 10 foot. There's a couple other companies that make this, the Sun Dolphin, they make a couple, the Bass Raider, they're pretty much all the same style. It's that double pontoon, so it's pretty much unsinkable, and then it's got these big lines of foam in between to help keep it stable. These things are super stable because of the pontoon style. I've never even thought I was gonna fall off. I've never even had like one little scare. That is why I like this over a kayak. So we have the boat. The boat itself is coming in at around $620. You can pretty much only get that at Bass Pro Shops. You can get different types at different company, different, like Dick's Sporting Goods sells one, a couple marine places, but for the Pond Prowler, you can only get that at Bass Pro or Cabela's. Here we have the trolling motor in the front. This is the Minn Kota Endura 34-pound thrust. Now, you can get higher than this. I would actually recommend getting something maybe around 40, just to give you a little extra kick. With all the weight I have on my boat, plus me in it, I can still go around 2.5 to 3 miles an hour, which is still fantastic. I mean, for small ponds, speed is not the key. You're not fishing a tournament. You don't have to get somewhere before another guy. You just need to cruise around and catch fish. So this thing has worked perfectly for me. One thing about these trolling motors when you buy them is that they are rigged up to be put on the back of a boat. Now you have to actually go in here and you have to turn this headpiece around, and you have to actually rewire it. So my brother and I actually went in and I adjusted the head here, and we soldered the wires so that it can clip in the front. The cool thing about these Pond Prowlers is they have a clip here in the front that you can attach it to, and to work it from the front. So that's what I've done. It's so much better steering from the front of the boat versus the back. And plus, when you're bass fishing, you want to be in the front anyway. So this guy right here is the EverStart 24 group battery. And then that battery is actually inside. I have it all hooked up. And then I have a battery box on the front. The batteries themselves are about 80 bucks and the battery box is about 10. So total, you're gonna be about 90 to 100 bucks for the full battery rig here. Now, for the motor, I don't have the motor on all of my trips. However, on the ones that I know I'm gonna be going for a little while, I don't like to use up all the battery on my trolling motor, so I use this guy. Now, I actually just did a video on this. This is actually a Honkai motor. It is basically a knockoff of a Honda motor. I got it for about $250 on Facebook Marketplace, which is an absolute steal, and it has worked tremendous for me. It says Honda, don't look at that. It's a Honkai motor is the brand. You can pick them up on Amazon for around $300 to $500, depending on what one you're looking at. This is a 3.6 horsepower. It's very simple, easy to use, and it's worked great. I can go about 5 miles an hour on the boat all together with it. All right, now we're gonna go into some of the cosmetics, some of the outside stuff here, the little accessories. First, we're gonna go into the matting here. I get a lot of questions on what this is here. All this is your standard gym floor matting. You can get these like a lot like the CrossFit gyms and stuff. This is what's like they're lifting weights on. You can get them for about $25 for like 6 or 7 of them, usually on Amazon or Walmart. I have all the links below to them. I actually didn't have to buy these because these are what I use in my ice shack during the ice season, because it's nice to be, when I'm fighting a big fish, I'm on my knees. And to be on this instead of the hard ice is amazing. So all I did is I actually just glued the little things together. That way it's not all puzzly. I glued each one individually here, and I've stuck some Velcro, which I have the other side of the Velcro on the boat. So sometimes your feet, you can kind of shuffle and move it around. So if I have it here, I put it in, I just pop it with my thumb, and now it's not moving anywhere. So I have 3 here. Actually, 3 of these work perfectly. This one I cut a little bit short, so it sits right up at the edge of the boat. Works great. It's definitely nicer to be on that than to be on the hard plastic all day. Plus, it's a lot quieter, so if you drop something, it's not banging on the plastic and maybe spooking fish in the water. Just a couple other cosmetic things on here. This guy is a kayak paddle holder. It's about $10 on Amazon. The original kayak paddle that I bought was a double finned, and I actually found this one while on one of my trips, and I actually like this one much better because most of the time I'm using the paddle to hit in the ground to push my boat off of the bank. I very rarely use this to actually paddle in the water, so these fins can break if you're shoving them in the dirt trying to push off. This thing, however, is great. And this one extends a long ways up, so I can almost use it as like a shallow water, like what they use in the flats for bonefish and stuff. So I really like this one better. You can get paddles like that for around 30 bucks on Amazon. You know, they're not gonna be the best paddles, but you really don't need a super nice paddle for what we're doing. You're gonna be on the trolling motor 99% of the time anyway. So this guy clips right in here just like that. However, I'm gonna take this off to show you this stuff right here. These guys right here are actually rod straps. I've actually screwed them in right here, and I have little clips on this other side. I'll show you guys right now on the camera. So if you notice, it's very, very simple. All I've done is clipped that right in here. This goes over, and these ones are actually adjustable, which is nice. I can pull this out and pull it down. But yeah, very simple. I have my rod here. I just put a rod in here to show you guys. I have one in the back as well. The main thing you have to watch for with this is this chair. You don't want that thing to block. If you do it too early over here, then you won't be able to move your chair all the way down and back. But luckily, by the way I did it with this, I did it right at the end, so it's not really affecting it at all anyway. Plus, you're never gonna have your chair that close to the front. I also forgot to mention the chair came with the boat. The 10-foot Pond Prowler comes with 2 chairs. The 8-foot comes with 1. I really wish I had another one, but they are very hard to find online, and they're gonna be about $100 to $200 to make one yourself, which may be a future project for me. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know. Now, this side of the boat is extremely important, and this is actually some of the best mods that I've done on the boat to date. This guy right here is the Garmin Striker 5 CV. This is actually my ice fishing fish finder. I actually just took it out, I took it out of my ice fishing bundle and connected it here. That way I didn't have to buy a new fish finder for the open water season. This fish finder mount is $20 versus the Ram ones I think are like $50, $60, and it works just as well. You completely adjust it to whatever, area you want. Quick lock, it's good to go. Amazing, super simple. This is where the battery is. Now, when I was making this, I wasn't sure whether I wanted to just connect the trolling, the big battery they ever start to the fish finder as well, but I figured that's gonna drain my battery a lot faster during the day. So I decided to actually just use my fish finder battery, and I have it connected in an ammo crate box. The ammo crate box is about $15, so it's not too bad. And I have all my wires, my battery, everything in here. I have a little hole drilled, show you guys. I have a hole drilled right here to where the wires come out and they plug into the back of the fish finder. So all I do is just close this, lock it up, and boom, I have no wires exposed to any type of water or anything. Yeah, there is a little hole there, but it's pretty locked in there good. Nothing overheats as well. It's a nice thing, it's kind of out of the immediate sun. So super easy. Then on this side, I have another hole, and this is where my transducer is, which I will show you now. So this transducer mount here is by Scotty. It's about $25. I have that link below, and it's actually very nice. I have the little locking mechanism here. So all I do is there's a button under here, pop, pushes this out, and this is how I carry this around. So when I get to the boat, plop that here, plop this in, and we're good to go. So the nice thing about this transducer arm is it's out of the way when I need it, when I'm, on land or whatever, I'm loading up and getting ready. But once I need to start marking fish, all I do is I clip the thing on the bottom, I adjust it right out to the middle, I twist this arm here, and it goes right down. And boom, now it's in the water, I turn my fish finder on, and I'm ready to go. Same thing when it comes back up. You just twist this up, put it here, boom, ready to go. These guys right here, when you're getting this boat, you might as well just buy like 4 or 5 of these things, because these are super useful, and a lot of other companies work with these mounts. These are these Scotty like brace mounts. They're about $10. I would recommend getting the ones with locks on the bottom, because that way nothing is gonna be moving. You are for sure everything is there to stay. I will add a quick little word here about registration. Every state is different, so check, because you do have a trolling motor, and I actually have an outboard motor, so I've got 2 things I've got to register for. You gotta make sure to have your ID number on the side with your sticker. Here in Idaho, our government loves us, so it only cost me like $17 this year to register it. It's amazing. These come with the boat, these 2, and I actually really like these guys. This one I installed on my own, and this is because it's the front of the boat, and I need something to help grab it and pull it. This thing is awesome. It's about $10 online. It's super nice. It's been super like rugged. It's not going anywhere. It's double screwed in on each side. And you know, there's a couple different spots on this boat that you could put little handles like that. That's actually a great segue into something I wanted to tell you guys. With this boat, when you buy it, I know it's gonna be super tempting to just start drilling a bunch of holes and just tricking this boat out. However, take it out, so buy the boat, buy the battery, buy the trolling motor. Go out on a couple ponds, goof off, have fun, and figure out where you want things. Do not start screwing in a bunch of stuff before you even know that that's exactly where you want it. Once you're comfortable and you realize maybe this is where this goes, oh, I'd really like a handle on this spot. I'd really like my fish finder here because that's my netting side. I'm left-handed, whatever, right? Then start drilling and figuring out what you want to do slowly. Just add 1 mod at a time until you have your final product. This right here, I've been working on since March. So this is like a 5 or 6 month project that I finally have it 80% done to what I want. There's definitely things I still want to do on it, but so far, I'm taking my time and I haven't messed up at all. Everything is awesome. This is one of the most crucial items right here. This is my anchor. So this right here is actually a laundry leash that I've taken a little screw here. That comes with the boat, actually, so I just fit that guy right here. And this is a Scotty anchor lock. The nice thing about this is this little thing in the back, but basically if you grab this and lift it up, you're able to drop the anchor, and the second it sees that there's tension, so I'll pull on it, boom, it locks on you. So the anchor lock itself is $37, and this is a 10-pound mushroom anchor with 2 carabiners here. That's gonna cost you about 30 bucks. So the anchor's pretty expensive, but it's extremely important, especially if you're bass fishing, you wanna just stay put in one spot. I also live in a state that is extremely windy, so to have this anchor is so helpful. I eventually want to get one in the front as well, so I can stay planted, so I'm not actually, you know, so the wind isn't moving me one way. I can just stay in one spot. Or if I'm catfishing, I can plant right here and then cast my lines out and it stays in the same, you know, the same spot, which would be really nice. This anchor though has been extremely good for me. Just make sure that you take a heavy enough anchor, because I bought a 5-pound, then I bought an 8-pound, and now the 10 is finally what's working for me. The other one's pulled really bad, so get a heavier anchor versus a lighter one. What you will notice here is it's kind of hard with the plants, but I do have a protective tape down here, and it's just an adhesive. It costs about $10, and you put this on the bottom of your boat, and that way when you're bringing it up on boat launches and stuff, it's not shredding up the plastic, you know, with all the concrete or rocks or wherever you're dragging this. Those guys, maybe I'll put a picture up here for you guys to see. These things have been shredded, and that would be the boat had it not been for that adhesive tape. So that stuff has been extremely important so far for the boat. The last 2 things I will mention here for the bass side of it, I guess this works for both sides because this is how I take the boat to my fishing spot, but you're gonna need 2 cam straps and 4 ratchet straps if you're putting it on top of your car. If you're putting it in your truck, you probably only need 4 ratchet straps because you're not really, you know, there's not as much weight of it moving around, but I'm gonna show you guys how I put it on my car. That'll be saved for a different video. Now I'm gonna show you guys the last 3 mods that I have. These are gonna be trolling exclusives. I pretty much have all the other stuff on all the time. Like obviously, whether I'm bass fishing or trolling, I'm gonna need my trolling motor, my fish finder, you know, my battery box. Those things are necessary. If I'm trolling, I may take away the anchor and maybe a couple things inside, but for the most part, it's gonna be the same thing. Now, one of our trolling exclusives here is the rod holders. These are gonna be about $40, and what they come with these guys here. Now, I didn't want to drill another rod holder on the side of my boat. I was really done with drilling stuff. So I found these on Amazon, and what's nice is it works with the railing in your boat, which means it's going to be adjustable, which is awesome, and you're not drilling it anymore, you know? And it pops in right there. That way when I'm on the, you know, it's on a truck or it's being, you know, driven to the lake, I just take these off and I put them on when I'm at the water, which is really nice. So these are really easy. All I do is I take this guy, put it in, and there's a lock here on the back, and it ain't going anywhere. If I just undo that lock, I can move it however I want. And there's a little screw on the side here that makes it go up and down. So it's really adjustable to how you want your rod in the holder. I made a very bad mistake in a previous video here where I didn't lock this back. And when a fish hit my rod holder, I picked the rod out of the thing and plop, it went in the water 150 feet down below. So don't make the same mistake I did. Make sure to remember to lock that thing in so it's not going anywhere. It's extremely important. All right, I'm losing light here, so I'm gonna finish up. This is my downrigger. This is the Canon Mini Troll. These gonna be about $100 on Amazon, Sportsman's, Cabela's, wherever. Super, super nice. The nice thing about this is it's a screwable, so I can take it off and on of my boat whenever I want. These guys I use to hold this in here. I explained this all on a different video. I did a boat mod with this guy. I'll put that in the description as well. But this guy goes on here, and this is what I use for my trolling. I don't use this as much for trout, but for kokanee, this has been a game changer. I've caught so many kokanee now on the downrigger, and it's been awesome. I use a smaller downrigger weight. With a smaller boat like this, you really don't want anything heavy. I believe this is a 4-pound. And for the kokanee clip here, I actually bought this. There's a guy named Chris from Kokanee Tackle here in Idaho. He custom makes these. They're like $12, and they are insanely good. They never get twisted up. He puts a nice protective sealing so you're not getting ripped up by the wire when you're grabbing this. And these clips are extremely high quality. They snap every single time. They're really easy to pull the line out of when a fish takes it. They're awesome. So yeah, I will put a link for that below. Go support my man Chris. He is an amazing guy. One of my last mods here is this guy, which is my camera mount. Now you can buy these, Ram makes these for about $100. I went to Goodwill and I bought a tripod leg for $5. I screwed it in here. I bought a Scotty mount so that this attaches to one of those little things I was telling you about earlier. And I shoved my old GoPro Hero 4 on it. That way if something were to fail and this were to dunk in the water, whatever, it's my Hero 4. I've had this thing for like 12 years. I'm not shoving my GoPro Hero 10 on top of there. Not worth it. It's too risky. So yeah, that works really, really well. It's super adjustable. It's a little unstable. If you were to buy the Ram mount, you definitely get an overall higher quality than this. However, it doesn't justify for me the price. I love this thing. I can get a great view of all the rods going off. This thing has been so much fun to get some really neat shots with. And that pretty much sums up everything on the boat, whether you're trolling or casting. There's a lot of other little customizations you can do on this boat. One thing I didn't mention here is I have a Scotty cup holder to use for my pliers and my phone and whatever. That's just on a little clip that goes in here. There's so many little things on this boat you can customize and do yourself. If I was you, the viewer right now, and I was getting this, I would not make the same exact boat that I made right now, because everybody has different needs of what they want to do with their boat. If you're just bass fishing, half this crap I wouldn't put on the boat. I would just leave it as open as possible so I get tons of room to cast. I, however, have a YouTube channel, so for me, I have put priority on where the cameras go. I have the fish finder that I have, to get for shots. I have a lot of different things I have to worry about on this boat. So just customize it. Just use, some of these things on my boat as inspiration to make for yours, and just have fun with it. If you guys want to see another awesome video with my tiny boat, I will put that right here for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something from my little boat setup. I will be doing another one of these in about a year or so, a little updated where are we now on the boat. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys next time on Humbug Videos.